Our next classroom hack is number 8, don't waste time building presentations. Focus on the learning by using OneNote Send to Sway. So this is a new feature that was just released not too long ago. It's a feature inside of OneNote, and it's an add-in called Send to Sway. So I know that oftentimes when our students do research in class, they spend, some amount of time getting their research, but then if we ask them to actually present their research back to us and we want them to do a presentation, I know it can be very frustrating when students seem to spend a ton of time actually building a presentation, because what we really want is them to focus on their learning. Can they demonstrate to us an understanding of their learning in the classroom? Sometimes we can see that students lose a lot of time because they're trying to figure out what tool do I want to use, or how do I format my slides, et cetera, and they're not really focusing on being able to demonstrate learning, but are they able to, put their picture in the right position, choose the right font. I know my students used to drive me crazy on the amount of time they would waste selecting animations and transitions between slides. So this tool eliminates the students' need to spend a ton of time on the presentation building. So let me show you how this works. All right, so I'm going to go back into my OneNote, and let me come back to, I'll go back to Krista's notebook. And let's pretend that Krista was doing some research on climate change. And so she'd been pulling together her research, identifying what she knows about climate change and what our current precipitation models and temperatures models did over the past year. So she can go out into the web and do some research and pull down some information. Maybe she finds some good pictures that explain what our climate change issues are currently and how this is portrayed. And as she builds her research, she's just putting everything in her OneNote, just documenting everything that she finds. Now that she has all her research here, now traditionally they might go to PowerPoint or some other tool to create a presentation, but now there's this new add-in for OneNote called Send to Sway. And Sway is a new Office product if you haven't heard about it. It's an online tool, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but I just simply click Send to Sway. And when I do, it wants me to sign in, so I'm just going to sign in really quickly with my Microsoft account. And what it does is it will ask me to give me a title to my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and keep it as that, and I'm going to say Sway it. And now what it does is it takes all the information that's on my OneNote page, it processes it, and it puts it together in Sway, which is a new online tool that allows our students to be publishers. And I can go ahead and say View My Sway. And so when I say View My Sway, it's going to launch Sway online. So Sway is available across all platforms because it's web-based, and there's also apps for it on iOS as well. So you can use the Sway app and build on the go. Now, what you have here is you'll see that here's the Sway that it automatically created. So it took the information from my OneNote page and automatically builds it out into some kind of presentation format. And if I don't like that one, I can click this Remix button, and it's going to give it to me in a different way. So now I'm as a student, I'm not having to spend a ton of time on presentation. It takes together my information and it puts together in a nice presentation for me. So that is Sway.